Here is every moment where Bikini Bottom's favorite micro menace gets absolutely done dirty. And yeah, he's a little evil, but did he deserve this? Sometimes not even close, but I guess that's for you to decide. New leaf. When turning good gets you wrecked. Plankton swears off villainy, waves a literal white flag, and turns the chum bucket into a cutesy gift shop. He adds all the little knickknacks and even shows Krabs his only customer who, didn't survive the chum, which was brutal to say the least. Krabs? He refuses to believe a single molecule of it. He hoards Plankton's snow globe like it's a spy gadget, sets up a party trap to outfake the faker, then storms the shop and smashes the shelves like a one-crab wrecking crew. And for what? A gotcha that never comes. When Plankton stays nice, actually rejects the formula, Krabs finally softens, apologizes, and spends a whole day being friends again. They have their friendship montage moment doing all the things teenage girls do. Trust fall, doc talk, sunset, and then Krabs literally hands him the formula as a show of faith. But here's the plot twist. Plankton had the long con running the whole time. Does the betrayal sting? Sure. But watching Krabs destroy a reformed guy's livelihood on a hunch? That's cold. You can feel bad for Plankton even though he blew it at the last moment. But can you blame him? One-course meal, the whale of it all. Then in another episode of SpongeBob, Plankton tries bombing the Krusty Krab and nearly wins until Pearl wanders in and Sheldon short-circuits. His nature documentary trauma kicks into full gear and his fear of whales practically causes him to pale. Makes sense, honestly. Krabs sees the fear and disguises himself as Pearl to personally torment the guy. It's genius and would have been my personal hell. Nightmares, paranoia, the whole 16-day spiral. Plankton hits rock bottom so hard he's literally waiting for the 4:15 bus to end it. Poor thing doesn't even realize it's Mr. Krabs, and then, surprise, surprise, SpongeBob steps in for once and helps. He reveals the Pearl torment was Krabs in a costume, proves everyone's got secret fears, Krabs included, and flips the script so Eugene gets a little of his own medicine. Sometimes Plankton deserves the trauma, but no one deserves to go through that. Plankton's regular, hope with a side of chum. Then finally, Plankton has a breakthrough, and he finally gets a customer. Like a real one. The fish loves chum sticks, pays cash, and says he'll be back tomorrow. Plankton's practically glowing. He even goes to Krabs to gloat, only to get smashed by a weirdly specific spoon collection designed just to flatten him. At this point, Plankton should really cut things off with Mr. Krabs. It's pretty clear Mr. Krabs is not a huge fan of Plankton. Krabs sends SpongeBob to poach the loyalist with every trick in the cookbook. It doesn't work. Then the biggest betrayal happens. The regular confesses he was paid by Karen to eat the slop so she wouldn't hear Plankton complain. He never had a real customer. Not once. No matter what Plankton does, he just can't catch a break, and it's heartbreaking. Single cell anniversary. He forgets. She explodes. But finally, things might actually turn around for Plankton. Karen actually gets Plankton the Krabby Patty formula as an anniversary present. All he has to do is bring a heartfelt gift first. I should have known it was too good to be true, because Plankton isn't exactly known for his romantic grand gestures. He panics. SpongeBob trains him into a wobbly serenade. Karen cries tears of joy and short-circuits so hard she explodes. Plankton blew up his wife with love. You don't see that happening every day, but somehow he still can't catch a break. And as usual, Plankton is now suffering a trifecta of pain. It's hard not to shed a tear or two for the little guy. Plankton's army. Family will always. Step on you? Plankton's tired of losing solo, so he tries to recruit some muscle. He whips out this big, fancy, thesaurus-filled speech to strangers and gets nothing. Not even a pity nod. So what's left? Easy, call the family. And when the family shows up, oh boy, they don't trickle in. They flood the place. A literal army of tiny green planktons appears, and all they want in return is bottomless root beer. With that promise made, the swarm storms the Krusty Krab, cracks the safe, and finally hands Sheldon the prize he's been chasing forever. The secret ingredient was, pounds of freshly ground plankton. That's when the panic and chaos begin. The entire clan bolts, terrified they've just helped cook themselves. Everyone runs, except for one poor cousin who doesn't leave because, well, he can't read. Turns out the formula's fake. Krabs wins again, and Plankton humiliated in front of his entire family tree. That one's got a sting. No friends and now no family. Enemy in-law, Dear Mama Krabs. Now this one's a weird love story nobody asked for. Plankton, of all people, gets googly-eyed for Mama Krabs, and for once, it's not about schemes or secret formulas, it's straight-up melty robot poetry romance. I mean, the guy's spitting verses like, roses are red, violets are blue, world domination has nothing on you. And Plankton really tries here. He buys her a hat she's been eyeing, takes her out to dinner at the Krusty Krab of all places, and suddenly, he's officially boyfriend material. Mr. Krabs, of course, is horrified. Imagine your archenemy calling your mom his sweetheart. Yikes! But Sheldon is feeling himself. He goes all in, drops to one knee, and proposes. Way too fast. No one told him about love bombing because Mama Krabs shuts him down. Then she drops another bomb. She's already seeing somebody else. Sting number 2. And here's the sad part. Plankton wasn't completely faking. He actually liked her. You could see it in the way he blushed, the way he put effort into all the little gestures. But she didn't like him back. Not in that way. Not in any way. So Plankton walks away with nothing but another loss. Grandma's the word. Birthday betrayal. Just when you think his love life couldn't get worse, here comes Granny Plankton strutting into town with her friend Ray and a demand that would make anyone sweat. Sheldon promised her he'd own the Krusty Krab by her 90th birthday. And that birthday? Yeah, it's tomorrow. Plankton knows he can't pull this off alone, so he does the unthinkable. He begs Mr. Krabs for help. And somehow, Krabs agrees. It's the most shocking moment in the entire series. They slap Plankton's name on the walls, give the place a makeover, and for one shining moment, the Chum Bucket reject is standing tall like a proud little CEO. His grandma finally sees him as a big shot. Then she asks for just one tiny thing: to hold the Krabby Patty formula for a birthday photo. What could go wrong? Krabs humors her and hands it over. But guess what? Granny was playing the long con. She snatches the formula and struts out the door, leaving Sheldon with nothing but a bruised ego and a birthday slap across the face. He bent over backwards to impress her, turned the enemy's restaurant into a fake empire, and in the end, he was just a prop in her scam. Brutal doesn't even cover it. Friend or foe? The day everything broke. So here's the big one, the origin story. Ever wonder why Krabs and Plankton hate each other with such fiery passion? Well, surprise, they didn't always. Once upon a time, these two weren't rivals. They were best friends. But somewhere along the way, things went sour. Ask Krabs, and he'll tell you Plankton got drunk on power. Ask Plankton, and he'll say Krabs got greedy for money. Classic he said. And then Karen steps in like the referee and shows us what really happened. Spoiler, it wasn't pretty. It started with one shaky business with no customers. Fast forward to the present, and SpongeBob ends up right in the middle of it, holding the formula and watching these two circle each other like ex-besties at a reunion. And for a split second, there's hope. Their eyes get glassy, their voices soften, and you hear it, that tiny little me too. It's the closest they've ever been to forgiving each other. Who knows what would have happened if they had kissed and made up? But then, as always, the greed switch flips. The moment passes, the softness fades, and just like that, they're enemies again. But if I'm really getting into the nitty-gritty, I think the real tragedy isn't that Plankton loses the formula, it's that he loses Krabs, the only real friend he ever had. So, should you feel bad for him? He's a conniver. He schemes. He lies, but he also tries. At love, at friendship, at owning a business that isn't a stomach pump. And every time the universe dangles hope, a customer, a partner, a second chance, it yoinks it away with a spoon, a costume, or a grandma. Do we excuse evil? Nope. But it's hard not to feel for a guy that at least tries to be good.